me see why the audios is not that great. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you guys are still with me. I think I am seeing a bit of an issue here with the audio. Ding. Okay, right. Anyways, guys, so we'll start. So decision fatigue. So what is decision fatigue? And so we'll cover a few of a few of the very important topics. Okay, so decision fatigue. So what is it? So have you ever experienced, or you must have always experienced on a kind of on everyday basis, by the time it's lunchtime and you are working, um, you feel like it's already you are exhausted, or sometimes you are not sure, even if it's a very easy to take a decision, you feel like, okay, you are not able to take a decision. Okay, so that is called decision fatigue. So what happens, the reason for this decision fatigue is when throughout the day. Okay, so since from in the morning when you wake up, so we all start to take decisions. Okay, some of the decisions are conscious decisions, some things are unconsciously we take decisions. And as the day passes, then multiple decisions we take, and by the time it's afternoon or evening time, you are kind of an exhausted. That means, when you say you, means your mind, our brain has limited capacity or processing capability. So when it is it has taken a lot of decision and thinking, because when you take a decision, it requires thinking. So when you are talking about decision faculty, we are talking about a faculty of your brain which is not able to now perform, and your brain is fatigued, is tired. Okay, so when your brain is tired, is tired of thinking, that is when you are not able to take, or may not be able to take the right decision. Again, how, what is the strategies, or how can we take, because in a day multiple decisions we take, how can we take the right decision? Okay, there are strategies in place, so we'll discuss about those. Okay, now let's move on and discuss about some of the strategies. Okay, so let me just put it up there so that we go through it one by one, some of the tips. First thing is having a routine. Okay, have a routine. So that means when you have a routine in place, so that means you know what to do, when to do. So that is the time when lot of decisions, or the brain, you are making your brain free of taking any decision. So that is called having a routine. Routine in life, it really helps. Okay, and you don't have to think about it, because it's already pre pre-planned. Okay, so for example, everyday routine is, as soon as you wake up, you drink a glass of water, a hot glass of water or warm glass of water. If it's a routine, then you do it, so you don't have to think about it. Let's take for an example, you go and brush your teeth, so that is another routine. Okay, so the second is about limiting your choices. What does that mean? So when you limit your choices, that means when you have multiple things. Let me take an example, give you an example of, let's say, while you are going to work. Okay, let's take an example, you are going to, because a lot of people are working from home and all. Let's say you are going to work. Okay, so now here comes a decision time, what do I need to wear? Okay, so for that purpose, if you look at people like, or one of the most successful entrepreneurs, if you see, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. Now this gentleman, if you have noticed or you have read about it, he wears the same t-shirt. Okay, it's a gray colored t-shirt, round neck t-shirt, every single day. Okay, and they say, even the most of the presidents of the United States, if you see, they wear the similar kind of jacket and shirt, and their ties are very much similar. Okay, so that means they don't have to worry and think about what are they going to wear. Now this may not be a big massive thing to decide, but it does take some time. Your mental capacity is taken away with this decision. Okay, so limiting the choices definitely helps. So that means if you have only one thing to do, then that is the thing you have to do, so you don't have to think about it. Okay, now another thing is, tip is batching similar decisions. Okay, so when you combine, for example, let's say, you responding to emails. Let's say you get to your work, and you open your mailbox, and there are certain emails, and every time you receive an email, if you start responding, that may not be a good idea, because again, you cannot concentrate on one thing, at a so our mind cannot multitask. Okay, at the same time you cannot have, you're thinking about what to respond on your email, and also you are putting figures on a spreadsheet. That's not going to happen. So that is the reason why, when you are batching, for example, in this example of responding to emails, you batch all things. I have, let's say, 10 emails to respond to, and you put yourself or schedule a time, let's say from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or 2 o'clock to 2:30, I will be responding to these 10 emails. So that means your mind is crystal clear. So when you batch it, so that increases your efficiency, instead of responding as and when you receive an email, batching it. Okay, so that you will do all together. Let's take for an example of, let's say at your home, you are doing your household chores, and doing your laundry. What do? So you put all your kind of, as the days pass, what you do is you collect all the dirty clothes, and at one go you put it in the washing machine. You don't just switch on your washing machine or run your washing machine every time you have a shirt to wash, or a pair of trousers. So you don't do that. Okay, so you just wait until you have a whole load of clothes to wash. Okay, so exactly the same logic. So that when you do things together, you batch it together, that is a more efficient way of you managing your time. Okay, and decision making also, of fatigue, you can come out of. Okay, so the next thing is prioritize. Okay, so you have to prioritize high impact and important decisions. So in a day you will be going through, you have to decide on quite a lot of things, but not all the decisions or everything is important. Okay, so there will be certain things which are important, and certain things may not be, and some people may be urgent but not important. So that means you have to just evaluate and prioritize the high impact and important decisions. Is something just keep it for yourself, keep it to yourself. And what do? You delegate or automate or eliminate completely those decisions which are you know not that urgent, not that important, and it could be delegated, it could be automated, or it could be completely be eliminated. Okay, so you have to think about it. That's a very useful strategy, because Not everything on a single day what you plan to do are important, are needed to be done by you only and not nobody else. That's not the case. So you always have to have the strategy of how you can eliminate, or you can delegate or you can automate, what are the tasks you can do that those. Okay, so now let's move on to another important point is that decision making really helps. If you do the major decision, important decisions, you take those um, at the early in the morning. Okay, after you get up, so that is when you have the high energy. So that is the time when you can get most things done, you have the focus on. Okay, your mind is balanced, your mind is kind of relaxed after you have slept the whole night. So that is the most important time of the day. Okay, so you schedule in such a way, you schedule your routine in such a way that on a daily basis, the morning thing, the morning time after you wake up is the time when you are getting yourself engaged, getting yourself involved in the most important decision making. Okay, next thing is nourishment and nourish your decision faculty. What does that mean? So that means making your faculty of decision making stronger. Okay, nourish it. Okay, make it so strong that it is becomes quite natural for you. Okay, so how do you nourish it? Okay, so one is sleeping. Okay, so that means having a good night's sleep helps you a lot in decision making. You get clarity on your decision making process, and sleeping is extremely important for all of us. Okay, good night's sleep, and that is what is accomplishable through your mind may be quite clear when you had a good night's sleep. Okay, another thing is eating healthy. Okay, so eat healthy. So when you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, it has been scientifically proven that your clarity of thought process, your decision making process becomes much smoother and much stronger than when you are not eating healthy or you are eating junk. So you have seen what happens is when a lot of nutrition gets into your bloodstream, that blood gets a lot of oxygen, and the nutrients passing through your entire body makes your mind quite alert. Okay, so that means the decision fatigue, you come out of it, that fatigueness, when you are full of, in other way, you are getting yourself full of energy. Okay, another thing is exercise. Okay, what does that mean? Exercise, okay, as it says, okay, exercise is good for your health, but more important, it's good for your brain as well. Okay, your mind gets much stronger, much focused when you exercise on a daily basis. Okay, next thing is minimizing the stress. Okay, and meditation is well known for centuries. Is the best practice to minimize your stress, but minimizing the stress helps you with the decision making process. Okay, so that means when you meditate, okay, you get clarity on your thought process, and that really minimizes your stress. Next thing is decision. We'll discuss about the decision making framework. Okay, now that means there are some framework. How do you take decision? There are some scientifically proven techniques, okay, for decision making. So what are those? Okay, so when you are taking a decision, it's very important that you do a cost benefit analysis. Okay, any decision you take, how much it will cost me and how much of benefit I will get out of it, I can just compare those and see if it's viable for me or not. Okay, so that's called cost benefit analysis. Next thing is pros and cons list building. That's another framework. When you do when you are confused about your decision, what you do is list down pros and cons, because when you are taking a decision, sometimes your decision fatigue comes because out of these two things you have to identify, or you have to decide on one, you are not sure which one. But when you list down on each of these two pillars, okay, what is the plus and the minus, pros and cons on both, and then compare, then you will be able to find out more about you know, the way to go forward. Okay, now we'll discuss about another very very important technique, okay, or a framework of decision making, and which is called Eisenhower matrix. Eisenhower matrix, what is Eisenhower matrix? So Eisenhower matrix is about, let me see if I am able to uh, okay, put it in here. Okay, so let me expand it a bit. Okay, so guys, I hope you have seen these, but if you haven't, so this is Eisenhower matrix. So if you see here, um, let me just come this side so that you guys are able to see it more clearly. Okay, so now Eisenhower matrix, if you see, okay, okay, so if you see here, I'm just trying to expand it a bit. Oh, uh, okay, so it doesn't happen, so I don't know why, but okay, it happens now. So now from the look of it, if you see, it has urgent. So this is the matrix. Okay, so Eisenhower is a very famous I think was a scholar, and he came up with this concept. It became very world famous concept. So if you understand this, top left hand side is called do, and both the sides of it, if you see, important and urgent. So that means all your activities in a day, if you put it in these four boxes, okay, now, okay, if you have to, let's say, go to office, okay, so is that something important? Yes. Is it urgent? You have to do that, right? He said yes, it is urgent, you have to do that, so you put it do. Okay, so let's take for an example anything else. Let's say you want to go to the park. Is it urgent? Is it important or not important, but it is urgent? So putting it down, all your activities in a day in these four boxes will give you a lot of clarity as to what to do. So do is the box where you those activities which you put inside the box, you just have to make sure that it is getting done. Okay, urgent and important. Now there is another section, again, top right hand side, important and not urgent. Okay, it is important, but it's not urgent. You just don't have to do it right away today, right at this point of time. That's called not urgent. Not important and urgent is delegate. So that means you can, what are the things you can delegate, which is not important to you, and which is urgent, that means let somebody else do it. Now delete, not urgent, not important, you just have to delete it from the list here. You don't have to get yourself engaged in that process. Okay, so hope it made sense to you guys. You understood the concept of Heisenberg. Is it called, okay, uh Eisenhower matrix. Okay, hope it made sense to you guys. So last but not the least, we'll discuss about our conclusion. What is the conclusion then we come to? Now the conclusion here is, do not be afraid of taking decisions. Okay, that's extremely important, that you have to acknowledge that if you are afraid of taking decisions, you may not succeed at all. Okay, so however, there's another important thing is make informed decisions. So that means when you are getting into the decision fatigue, it's very important that you gather information and take an informed decision. Okay. And then after you take a decision and you stick to it, but later on you can course correct. Okay. So that means you change based on, what the decisions you made. Some good experiences, bad experience, you learn from the bad experience, and good experience is something you cherish. So now this is how you progress further. Okay. So hope it made sense to you guys. With that, I am done and over and out, guys. Bye bye.